Hey, this is Henry Sanders with another episode of Real Talk, our daily episode. And we want to thank our investors over at Park Bank. Thank you for everything you're doing. And we have another special guest today, someone who I know well, someone who was a pergolder like myself, went to East High School, someone who's a busybody, who's in everything involved in the city. Gloria, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you, Henry, for having me today. It's always nice to spend some time with you.
Oh, thank you. That's that East Side love. That East Side
Exactly.
love. So you're at home. You're at home. How's everything going at home?
I'm at home. I've been home for I think the past couple of weeks, it's been a struggle being at home and not being out and about. And so it's been a challenge, but it's the safest thing to do. We are, I think, for everybody is to stay home. And so, yeah.
Well, you are being a school board president. You have a lot going on in the schools, and like me, my kids are home. I'm homeschooling. The struggle of that is real. Like, that is real. So what's going on? I mean, you guys had a rapid reset. You guys responded very quickly to the COVID-19. So give us an update. What's going on with the school district? Yeah,
this is so unprecedented for everyone. And our response is we are moving along with a sense of urgency in trying to get our students and our teachers and our staff all prepared for virtual learning. And it is a new territory for many of us. And really moving through this is... I'm just so proud of how our community is coming together and our school district in our collaborations together in responding to this horrific public health crisis. We are moving through this week. We have started with meetings with our teachers and our staff within the school district. They're all doing it virtually, and they're starting today. And they're preparing for their children on April 13th. And so this week we will be preparing for sending out laptops, taking care of any of the logistics of technology for our students and their needs. And as you know, I don't know if you've heard, but we initially thought that we would have people come and pick up laptops at designated times so that we at least have people coming through, driving up. But because of the recent public health guidelines, we have decided not to do that and are sending our laptops to children who don't have them right now via UPS. And so great partnership with UPS, who is working with us to get these out as soon as we can. So a lot of new territory that we're covering, but I'm really confident in our professional staff that we are moving through this and preparing our kids for April 13th. So April 13th will be the week where we will start virtual learning.
So that's when you start the virtual learning, April 13th.
Yes.
So has the school year been officially canceled? Is it over or...
No, we are continuing. We're just going to continue virtual learning. We don't know how long we will do this. It's going to depend on what our future brings. And we are having to make decisions day to day, it seems like, because this pandemic is changing. And we know from what we are hearing that we are... it's going to get worse before it gets better. And so I believe we are in the virtual learning for at least the next 2 to 3 months. And we will see where we go from there.
So basically the school year is done in person, right? So basically it's virtual, all virtual.
Yeah, we actually had to cancel prom, which is so It's so hard. I mean, I looked at I have a 14-year-old who I feel bad for her because she is, she's young. I mean, these are our youth's lives, right? And the experiences, we know, Henry, that we experienced together outside, playing, hanging out with friends, and all that is for at least a temporary time that we will have to stop that. And so prom is a significant part of our youth's experience, right? Our teenage life experience, and that will have to be postponed or canceled. I'm not sure whether, what it looks like if we do something like, schedule it for another date. But right now it is canceled.
Wow. And do you guys have a plan for summer school at all? I mean, what happens with summer school? You think that would be virtual too?
Potentially, yeah. Yeah. Potentially, yes. Yes, I think that what comes out of this, once we get over this pandemic, that our schools will be equipped, our community will be equipped to go to virtual learning quick, and we'll be able to do that right away.
What are you guys going to do for school board meetings now? Is this going to be all virtual?
Yeah, so school board meetings, we did have our first school board meeting a couple Mondays ago, last Monday, and we did it all virtual, and it worked really well. The only issue is that public comment at the beginning of our meetings is we had to do it via people writing their questions in or concerns in during public comment, and I read them. But it just doesn't replace having people come to a school board meeting.
And yelling at you guys all the time.
Yelling at us, yeah. We just don't get that feel, right, of anger, through a message. So, so we are trying to figure out technology and figure out ways to have people interact with us during public comment that is more than just writing in. So we'll see what that looks like. I'm not sure, but we are learning and moving along. I was very proud of our technology folks and our school board members who just jumped in and did it, and with very little technology issues.
Yeah, for homeschooling, are you giving any tips to parents how to homeschool? Or, just again, luckily I have a wife who runs a tight ship around here. I mean, my wife, we're on a very detailed schedule in the Sanders household right now. But not everyone has that, right? So are you giving best practices or best tips for parents to learn how to homeschool their kids? It's just a whole different different skill set.
It is, isn't it? I mean, I myself finding myself lost at times. I mean, we've sent a lot of links out to our families, but it's going to be really hard to replace your teacher, right? I think the important thing is ensuring that our students have structure at home, and providing that structure. And that's where our teachers play a role when they come in, when we start. But between the last 2 weeks, we did have we sent out a bunch of links for parents and resources that parents can use, like Khan Academy and so forth. But, that was just sort of an entry point. But once our teachers are fully equipped to do virtual learning, we hope that's going to provide the structure and the content that our students need every day. So and I think it's going to take some extra effort from parents to stay the course and like you said, right, run a tough ship. So, but that's often hard, right? I mean, I think that we have to we have to ensure that we continue our education for our students, no doubt about that. But we also understand the realization that our families are struggling. Some people are losing jobs. They're having to get assistance from different entities. There's a lot of stress right now in the home, and we want to make sure that whatever we do, we keep that as the foundation moving forward, right? It is the health and humanity of our families within our community to make sure that they feel supported. Education is there. We will continue that. But we also have to understand that some of our families will be struggling with a whole host of other challenges, food access, right? And so our schools have been equipped and they have been serving food on a daily since 2 weeks ago, and we will continue that. And we have our social workers who are equipped and who are connecting still with their families. And so we have a whole entire staff besides our teachers who are continuing to do their work as much as they can via phone, via conference calls, and so forth. But it's really important that we stay connected to our families and ensure that their needs are continually met.
And last question here. So as you know, our students of color don't do well in the school district. And this puts them behind even farther. Has the district had a conversation about what do we do to help these students virtually who are behind a little bit, who are struggling, and then what do we do when they get back to kind of ramp them up? Now that's a big question, right? I know it is. You might not be able to answer the whole thing, but I just hope that someone's thinking about our students of color already behind. This kind of puts them behind more. And a lot of them might come from homes that are not, like you said, a single parent working 2 jobs, 3 jobs, and laid off. There's a lot of stuff going on, or they might just be struggling in school. What's the strategy for them?
Yeah, I mean, I think that is something. Once we get everybody equipped with the technology that they need, that is something that we have to carefully monitor. And also, I think the commitment from the board around Black excellence it continues. We're talking about our current contracts that we have with organizations that fill the mission of Black excellence, and continuing their contract and being very, really innovative. Stepping outside our box on how they would regularly meet with students and our families. And so I think that that's going to be very critical in changing contract language needed to make sure that we are still connecting with our African American students. So that's part of it, but I think we will continue to evaluate. We're going to have to look at how we engage those students, our opportunity youth, right? Looking at our opportunity youth office and figuring out how we better engage. And I mean, if you look at our staff and our teachers, our social workers, and those who are in contact with the students day to day, we expect that will continue. It would have to be extra effort to engage them and keep them engaged, so that we don't lose them to what's happening in their home, right? And the trauma, the chaos, the instability, and really keep them engaged. And that concerns me. There's no doubt about that, and it should concern everybody in this community that we have to keep our most vulnerable kids engaged and provide them the support in ways in which they feel supported. And it's going to be different. And so I would say, who knows how long we got here, but we have 3 months here. We're moving quickly. We're moving with intentionality. Really strategic, using a lot of collaboration, partnerships, to move through this pandemic. I've just been so impressed at how our community has responded to this very quickly, right? I mean, even you, Henry, Madison 365, Boys and Girls Club, the United Way, all these different smaller organizations who have stepped up to help support our communities, knowing that they are going to be the people who are going to struggle the most during this pandemic. And very impressed by all the help that MMSD has received from our nonprofit organizations, our different partners, the city and the county, in collaborating through this.
So before we go, tell us what's going on with the child care issues. I know a lot of people are concerned about child care and where they go to child care. A lot of child care places are closing down. I think the YWC or YMCA is open still a little bit. But what are you guys going to do for child care? What are you hearing around that?
Well, I think, the administration sent out recent guidelines on how teachers manage childcare while they're teaching, right? Really complex issue. Like, who would have thought about, like, a guideline around that, right? I mean, I think it's important to offer guidelines, but, I mean, at this point, we need people to stay safe and healthy and not bring in a babysitter or a child care provider inside your home or sending your kids to a child care center because they're booked anyway, right? They're closed or they're only utilizing their space for first responders. It just doesn't make sense. I think that we just need to really lead here with compassion and humanity and not really get stuck on the guidelines that are very general, right? And so I think that the issue with teachers teaching virtually while their kids are at home, I think our teachers are professionals. They know kids better than anybody else, and I am confident that they will be able to manage and balance being able to teach their class virtually while taking care of their own kids. And so I think that is what we're asking teachers to do, right, is they're going to be our frontline workers in a very critical time, and we need to be able to support them and have confidence that they're going to be able to continue to teach while being able to take care of their own children. And be safe. Don't go out and send your kids to a daycare center or bring in a babysitter. I think follow public health guidelines. That's what's important.
I didn't even think about that. Teachers having kids have to watch their kids.
Yeah.
And they have to teach at the same time. Wow.
Yeah. But we balance that all the time, right, as parents. And so this is one of those times. And it's going to be interesting, right? I mean, I think that we're going to learn and figure this out as we move along. And I think our teachers around this topic will have to lead us through that. Like, what does it look like? What are their challenges? What are they seeing? What could they use helps support on? Particularly teachers who are single mothers, single fathers, right? I mean, how are they managing that? And we can't make people's lives as more stressful than it already is. And just do what you can. It's not going to look perfect. It's not going to be perfect. But we want you, to continue to engage your students because our students are eager to see their teachers again and interact with their classmates.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for all you're doing.
Thank you.
My guess is this won't be the last time you and I talk virtually. And
right.
Thank you for all you're doing for the school board. Thank you for leading. This is going to be something new for all of us, and hopefully we come out of this stronger. But thank you for the school board for acting so quickly. Thank you for UPS for partnering with our schools and make sure that our students are getting their technology. And we wish you the best and stay safe and sane over there. And are you keeping yourself busy? Are you working out? What are you doing to keep yourself energized?
I'm trying to. I get out to walk and run when I can. And so I'll probably get out there today. I heard it was going to be a nice day, so I'll probably get out there.
It looks nice.
Yeah. So I am trying to get out as much as I can, but alone, staying 6 feet apart from everybody.
Well, again, thank you again for all you're doing. And hey, shout out to all the school teachers at home who are preparing to teach our kids, teach our babies virtually. Thank you for all you're doing. It's a blessing that you're helping our kids. Thank you for staying engaged. We thank you. The children are our future, and you can tell the health of a city by its children. So thank you for all they're doing. Thank you for the school board. Let's go Pergolders.
Yes.
Pergolders.
Let's go Pergolders.
And we'll see you next time. I'll see you next time. Okay, stay safe.
Thanks, you too.